I was young from Masingozaka, and I heard the voice of God. You see, when passion is engaged, it births encounters. And once you have an encounter, you cannot be stopped. Just one encounter, you cannot be stopped. I don't care what it is, you cannot be stopped. A man who had one encounter with God, they said to him, this man is a sinner. He said, once, one thing I know, once I was blind, but now I begin to see. The man of God, Kayanja, was in America at the age of 21. At the age of 21, he needed a financial revival. One person, remember the revival I'm talking about is coming. But when people see it and put it on the screens of the TVs, they are going to say, wow, this church is moving. Miracles are taking place. The sick are being healed, crippled, walking, blind, seeing, dead, raised. And they think it was a church. It's not a church, son. It's not a church member. It's going to be individuals. Just 10 people in a congregation that can change everything. Just 10. And it doesn't need to be an usher. You don't need to be a pastor. You don't need to be a minister. You don't need to be a cardinal. All you gotta do is tune in. He's in America. He begins to minister. It's happening already. People are seeing it already. Maleka kujape. Now watch this. And he wants a revival of funds, finances. So he's called to preach. Are you still here? Because I don't have time. I came to spark a revival. These are just whispers. It's not a revival, but just whispers of it. I don't care which church you belong to. Say, ma'am, pastor, whatever church you belong, wherever you are, I decree and declare a revival, a personal revival that will cause fires and fires around your nation. So he's ministering. As he ministered for days, one man brought him, the pastor brought him a check of $1,000. And he's saying, I'm coming from Uganda. I don't know what to do with the check. Of course, you can go and cash a check, but they have to take a percentage as you cash it. So he's sitting down there saying, I've got a check. I need money. Things are bad. I need to build this and I need to build that. And they just gave me 1,000 after all this. He wasn't angry, but he was just saying, I need more. And IDAHOSA came the following day to minister. And now he has already finished preaching. Kayanja has already finished preaching. And he's sitting there. And as he sat there, he said, man of God, today is going to minister something big. And IDAHOSA began to speak. And he says, everyone stand up. Are you here? Are you here? He said, everyone stand up. As they stood up, he said, everyone give $1,000. Nobody's moving. And IDAHOSA looks at Kayanja, and there were only 2 black people. Everyone is white. He says, you, the first one to give 1,000. Now he's looking at his check. He's like, this is the only check I have. And I need a ticket to go back home. I don't even have any remainder. And I'm here looking for a revival of money. But there was a man carrying oil for money. He began to speak to the man of God, Kayanja, and says, you are the reason Africa is broke. He starts teaching one man why the poverty mentality has gotten a hold of Africans. He says, you have 1,000. He says, I don't have. He said, you have 1,000. He said, I do not have 1,000. Are you here, somebody? I decree and declare, if you're under the influence of my voice, this revival will happen in your marriage, in your finances, in your church attendance, in soul winning, in your passion for Christ, in everything holy. It will spark a fire. So Apostle Kayanja is standing there, and as he's standing there, he begins to speak in Luganda, which is a language in Uganda. He speaks in that language. arguing with himself sitting there. And IDAHOSA can't understand the language, but he points at him and tells him what he was saying. Arguing with himself on whether to drop the $1,000 check or not. This is not a moment of giving. I'm just giving you what revival is. Then he finished the service. He had already given all his money. Now he doesn't know how to go back to Africa. He's only 21 years old. And IDAHOSA is standing in front. And he says, all the money we collected is to build a church for this man of God who is white, in a white church, only 2 black people. And the man of God, Kayanja, sits there and goes like, what sort of man is this? You are building churches for white people? If you hear him talk, he says, I said it because in my brain I had poverty mentality, that there are some black people who can give white people. The Bible says it this way: we shall lend to nations. Aya. This revival of finances too will come to churches and they realize you don't need to be a charity organization. There is nothing we give to charity. We are not a charity. So the biggest lie that has been perpetuated on the church by the governments of the world is to make the church a charity. So when people give in church, they feel they are giving charity. They're doing a charitable job to giving to us. No, sir. We are a multi-million-dollar church. You've never seen revival, because a lot of people think revival starts spiritually in the church. No, it starts with individuals. A heart changing, a heart shifting to a point where you see your wife and go like, you know, this is it. The one you gave me, this one. You see your husband and say, this is it. It's a revival. He finished service. IDAHOSA is said to have gone to Africa, and Kayanja waits for something to happen. As he waits for something to happen, are you here? Are you here? Are you here? So he leaves and he goes to his hotel and he gets a pastor. Says, look, I want you to preach for me for a few days. He says, okay, I want to preach for you for a few days. He begins to preach. He begins to preach. When he finished, there was somebody who just mentioned IDAHOSA to him. He said, IDAHOSA is not a man of God. Remember, he left me with nothing. Yeah? So he's thinking, how can a man of God do this? Put me in a corner to give. And then decree that within a few days there's going to be a revival of money. You even have money to build your church, to start building your church. He's telling everyone. And that 1,000 he was given, he sold. Now somebody's talking about IDAHOSA. I said, he's not a man of God. The pastor said, wait a minute. That man is a man of God. He said, he's not a man of God. Finished preaching. The preacher said, now let me give you your money. He said, this is $3,000 is for your ticket. The 7,000 is for this. Now you are in a presidential suite, and we give you 20,000 again. He said, IDAHOSA is a man of God. Are you still hearing me?